Hello, we're here today at the NAACP hearing on public charter schools after they've already passed a moratorium on the expansion or growth of charter schools. My name is Laura McGowan Robinson. I am the Senior Vice President of Regional Advocacy for the California Charter Schools Association. I'm also a proud charter founder and administrator. I want to thank you all for joining us today, and we have charter parents, charter leaders, community members who are here standing in solidarity to say that charter schools should absolutely have the opportunity to serve African American youth, and we should have the right to grow, and we should be able to provide quality education to all kids in the state of California. So first, I'm going to bring up Ms. Margaret Fortune, who is the founder. She is the founder of Fortune Schools and also serves as the CEO of Fortune Public Schools.
Thank you, Laura. I'm glad to be here today. I made the trip all the way from Sacramento to be here in LA because I'm really outraged at the actions of the NAACP. They are supposed to be an organization that is focused on the education and welfare of low-income students, African American students, and the students that need the most help. The reason why I founded a charter school, in fact, I founded 6 of them, 5 in Sacramento and 1 in San Bernardino, was to close the African American achievement gap. Because our traditional public schools have been failing black students, and everybody knows it. It's a crisis that persists and persists and persists. Now, as for me and my community, we got tired of waiting. And so we decided to open schools, high quality schools, within the context of public education so that our families could have alternatives and their children could be prepared to go to college starting in kindergarten. You would think that that would be an agenda that the national NAACP would sign on for wholeheartedly. And I will tell you that as a card-carrying member of the NAACP, I don't agree with this decision. It seems like organizations have gotten inside of the NAACP and run an agenda. An agenda that is not to the benefit of the constituency that NAACP is supposed to serve. The NAACP should not be focused on taking away educational alternatives from students of color. I hope that why they are here is to listen and not just be steadfast in their position, which is one that members of their own organization, including me, do not agree with. There are pertinent issues facing African American students in California. For example, our state identifies students who are high need, and they give schools extra money to serve high need students. African American students are not acknowledged as high need students. The only African American students who are acknowledged as high need is if they're also low income. Now, 100,000 African American students in the public schools in California are not low income and are low performing. And yet the schools that serve them, mostly traditional public schools, get no extra resources to do the work to support high need students. So no extra money for tutoring, for after school programs, for Saturday school programs, for extra teachers, for instructional aides. That's a full 1/3 of California's black public school population that are lower performing of some of the groups who get an extra help from the state government, but the people and the schools that serve them get no extra resources to bring up their performance. That's an issue that the NAACP should be focused on, and in particular, the California State NAACP. So my message is simple. We need more choice, and we need more funding, and the NAACP needs to take their hands off our charter schools.
Let's give her a round of applause. Next up, we are going to have Ms. Shirley Ford. She is a charter parent, and she also is a part of Parent Revolution. Shirley Ford.
Good afternoon. My name is Shirley Ford, and I am a co-founder of Parent Revolution, and I'm mainly speaking today on how I feel about this situation. I have to be honest and say that it troubles me that we're having to come to a hearing in a public facility to talk about the NAACP doing a moratorium on charters. I went back and I reread the Willie Lynch letter last night because this troubles me so much that the NAACP would have chosen a particular choice or option that a parent have to say, oh, we need to stop this. Well, what about all the brick and the mortar in the schools that have been failing in my communities for all these years? If you would be on the right side, I would be standing with you. But you're not on the right side. You're on the wrong side. Charter worked for me. I have a first generation that went to a charter school and that went to a university, graduated, and is now a teacher. So it worked for me. When is the last time that you went down and walked the neighborhoods and knocked on doors and actually talked to parents? When is the last time? Who gave the NAACP the authority to come and say we're going to stop an option for a black child? Well, hello world, we need more options. We need to be talking about restoring the black family. It's what we need to be talking about at any cost, closing anything down, not just choosing one of the options. I believe you're on the wrong side. Actually, I know you're on the wrong side. I'd like to send a strong message to the NAACP, not in our house here, because we will be up 24 hours a day organizing against you. We will be down into the projects, down into the communities, talking to parents. You're not seeing part of what we can come together with. So try us here in California if you like. You need to be on the right side.
I'd like to call on Carmen Taylor-Jones. She's the president of the National Council for Negro Women, View Park Section.
Good afternoon. My name is Carmen Taylor-Jones, and I am an urban affairs specialist. I am also an organizer and an activist. I've served as the chief district director for the 37th Congressional District. I have served with the County of Los Angeles for the homeless count and currently president of National Council. So I live on the front line, so I know what I am referring to. The black community in Los Angeles is struggling under the weight of multiple social errors, and education of our black children is one, although our problems are multifaceted. And it is unfair to attempt to pit the public against charter programs. LAUSD is not the corporate here, although by their own admission and statistics, you will find that black children represent less than 15% of the district's enrollment. That means that black children have found solace in attending charter programs, and many are finding greater acceptance and achieving greater victories. In LAUSD, many of our students are languishing. Many are ignored, displaced, and hopeless. Last school year, I had the opportunity to work with Edison Middle School here in Los Angeles. They had a student body of approximately 1,341 students, only 37 African American students in the entire school, but yet only one of our black babies was able to graduate last school year. That is unacceptable. So charters are a viable option. And I am so curious as to what information, statistics, data, and outreach the NAACP utilized to arrive at this decision that a moratorium was necessary. It certainly makes one question the intentions. It makes one question the intentions of this organization. The black community here chooses to allow NAACP to speak on our behalf and to be our intermediary, our voice on a national front, but that is a choice. It is not a privilege. I'm sorry, it is a privilege. It is not a right. And currently there are so many black children that are living on the streets of Los Angeles, suffering in juvenile detentions and navigating through foster care. Those are the greater concerns that we should be focused on, not whether or not they attend a charter school or a district school. The goal right here is for them to learn. Black children historically have always attended charter programs of some sort. When we were denied access and entry into the district of schools, we organized ourselves in living rooms, in back rooms, in church rooms. Those were charter programs, and our children were able to learn. So I hope that you consider all of the comments that are made here today and focus on the real issues that are facing the Black community in NAACP and rethink this moratorium. Thank you.
There are 48,000 African American youth in charter schools. That's a lot of children who would be displaced if we were to shut down all the charter schools in the state of California. That will not happen. That will not happen. Will it happen? No. That will not happen. Right. Next, I'd like to call up Danielle Lowe of Shields for Families. She's a youth service administrator.
My little one's nervous. He's gonna make my point. Again, my name is Danielle Lowe, and I have a master's in social work. How am I connected to a charter? Having substance abuse programs at Shields for Families, we saw everything that our older youth in high school were going through, being the parents of that household because their parents had an addiction. And so we collaborated with LA Education. I have my principal here, Abani Carr. We collaborated together to create an environment where those children that are so often sent to prison and or the ground, to give them an opportunity to have an education, to have that second chance, to be heard, and have the supports that they need to survive and be successful. We're in our 4th year now, and all of our students have graduated, and all of them have been accepted to a 4-year state. Right. Or a private university. And I failed to mention all of our students are residents of Watts and or Compton. And so they are beating all of the odds. I also stand here as a mother. I tried to bring my little one up here, and my big one's in the back that's shy. But my children were in private school first because I thought that was my only option for them to get a good education in California. But now they're in a charter school, and the education they're receiving is 5 times more than what they were receiving in a private institution. Yes, all right. And we have students here today because I think they can speak best on what charter schools do for them and what they've done for them and where they are going and how they are going to be the next generation to carry on this torch in this society. So I'm going to have our first one, Mr. Raymond, who is a senior at College Bridge Academy. All right.
Good afternoon. My name is Raymond Abrego. I'm 17-year-old. I'm a current senior at College Bridge Academy, Compton, and it's crazy. Being at the charter school has helped me a lot. I used to go to a district school, and unfortunately, in my years there, they were not the best. I used to always ditch, and I would just not go to school on a regular basis like I should, and eventually got gang affiliated, and I let myself down. You know, my hopes of going to college and all of that, they were just shut down basically. And since my attendance at College Bridge Academy, that's changed a lot, and they've helped me with that change too. Because at first I did not know my own potential, and they started believing in me, and they showed me that I do have a lot of potential, and they brought it out of me. And right now, I've been accepted to 4 colleges that I've applied to. Right now, I know I'm going places, and I have a lot going for me. I want to major in mechanical engineering, and they set me forward, and they've helped me change a lot. And I look forward to a brighter future, and that's all because of this charter school I'm attending now. Public schools, they are good, but just the environment for me personally, it just wasn't the best because students in there were always disruptive or loud, and the teacher wasn't able to teach his lesson. But here, since the environment's a lot smaller, you know, students are more on it, and they know each other more personally on a personal level, And for me, that's the type of environment I want. And I'd like to thank you for your time and for listening. You guys have a good day.
We didn't practice the transitions. This is Kaylee. She is a sophomore at our school, so she's just been with us for a few months, but she wants to talk about her transition from Linwood to College Bridge. Lakewood, sorry.
Hi, I am Kaylee Brown. I'm a sophomore at College Bridge Academy in Compton. Before going to the school I go to now, I wasn't really anything, I could say. I didn't feel like I was anything. Going to Lakewood High School, I used to ditch classes. You have 6 on my roster, only go to 2 a day, only see 2 teachers a day. I used to smoke. I used to just do stuff that you wouldn't expect a 15-year-old to do. Transforming to this school that I go to now was a great big change for me. Now, going into my school, I didn't really know my GPA, but now I have a GPA of 2.6, passing my classes with C's or above. I didn't really have dedication or motivation. Coming from a home where my mom is a teacher herself, an English teacher, even that was like, why is my mom a teacher? Like, that's just gonna be worse for me. Like, I didn't have a dream for myself. I now have a dream. My goals are to be an FBI agent, go to Atlanta State. Now that I am pushing myself to be a better person, it makes me want to be a better person. Walking in my first day at College Bridge Academy, my principal always says, how's your morning going? I'm not used to that because, you know, walking into a public school, they just say, okay, start your day, you're 8 hours in class, okay, going about your day and just leave my school. This school makes sure that you come into the school learning and you leave being better than you came into the school. So I feel that going to the school is pushing me to be a better me. Because, you know, see, a lot of kids don't go into school really saying they're gonna make it. When I went to a public school, she gave me classes that would not be able to get me into a college. She said, I don't think you're gonna really go to a college, right? And I'm just looking at her like, yeah, you're right, I'm not. The school I go to now, college is what is best for me. I go into my school with a goal and I leave with a goal. So going to this school is the best that it can be for me, because if I did not go to this school, I do not think I would be the person I am today. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Lakeya Harper and I'm a proud graduate of the Charter School College Bridge Academy, class 2016. My first 2 years attending Bellflower High School, I was considered a trouble student. I was ditching class, I was getting into fights, and I had a GPA of 0.8. Wow. I had straight F's and 1 C. Wow. I was later expelled for fighting, and I had to attend College Bridge Academy as kind of a relocation because my mom wanted better for me. Going to College Bridge Academy, I didn't see a future for myself. I didn't want better for myself. I just wanted to finish high school so I could just be over with it. But attending that charter school, not only did my principal, teachers, and staff see something in me, everyone saw my potential. Having someone see potential in you sparked something in me. It made me motivated. It made me want to be something better. It made me want better for myself. My school, my charter school, taught me not to let my past define me, not to let what happened to me define me. I grew up in a household where my mother was on drugs, my father was in jail. I grew up with 2 grandparents. I didn't want better for myself. Going to school, I raised my GPA to a 3.5. Wow. I was accepted not only to 1, not 2, but several 4-year universities. I am now attending Cal State Northridge for my 2nd semester, passing all my classes. I owe my success not only to myself, but to my principal, to my teachers, and to my staff. They saw something in me. They didn't just give up on me and say, oh, she's not going to be anything, just pass her by. They saw that I could be something great. And that motivated me to want better for myself. All schools are good, but my school, they work with people one-on-one. They help you know that you don't have to let where you come from define you. And I give everything that I am today to my principal, Ms. Carr, and to my charter school, College Ridge Academy, located in Compton. I am not going to become another statistic. I'm going to be great, and I know that my future is something great in store for me, and I owe it all to my charter school. Thank you.
Let's give all of our students a round of applause. They are phenomenal. This concludes our press conference. We'll now be entering into the hearing, and we invite all the press to join us inside. Thank you so much.